Welcome to another episode of the Apex Perspective podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by my company, in which we transform founders and executives into excellent physical shape. 90% of fitness solutions are not meant for individuals running both companies and personal lives. For that reason, our primary focus is to solely focus on highly adaptable exercise that you can do even while you're taking a phone call. This is the exact same approach that I personally leveraged to lose over 70 pounds and successfully keep my results. Check out Mind and Body Mastery Fitness.com for more. Today, I get the absolute pleasure and the opportunity to speak with Dr. Himanshu Puri, who is the co-founder and COO of Legitquest. Himanshu, I would love to start with your background.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Aryan. For apprising me about what your, passion is about and what you are venturing into, and your success story. I would say that's a great success when you lose that much of,
Thank you.
weight and get to the fitness. Yeah. So coming back to the question, so about my background, see, as of now till date, I carry a sort of 17 years of experience. So this experience in total has been coming from the education space, from the ed tech space, from the legal tech space. So right now I'm into legal tech space. So there was a sort of automatic transition, I would say, because I started my career from the education space, and then the next line of expansion from my career perspective was into edtech because the technology was taking good turn, and in India we saw it from 2012 13 onwards. Technology was the buzzword. We started hearing about health tech, ed tech, and whatnot, right? And today, I mean, AI, ML, and Gen AI, everything is all around. So at that point in time, I thought, let me just, sort of upgrade myself, upskill myself, and, move towards edtech. And I explored the edtech space. I got a chance to work with one of the unicorn today, which is upgrad.com. So I was with them with the early team, sort of working with the founders to set the first set of, launch the first set of edtech products in India. So I worked for, those, initial level of courses that Upgrad launched in 2015, 16, and 17. So I was with them for like 2 years, and it was sort of a roller coaster ride. And I got a reality check as to how a sort of startup functions. So it's like, we before launching any product, we were not sleeping for like 3 to 4 days in a row, right? That's how the excitement was, the pain was. It was a sweet pain, I would say, because launching a product, which is a course in itself, was a great journey. So I learned all the hacks of the industry while working with Upgrad, working with closely with the founders like Mayank, Ronnie Screwwala, who've been the founders behind this Upgrad. And today we know it's a success story in the tech space, which is still into a struggle phase, I would say, at tech, but still couple of ventures like, Physics Walla today, or, an academy still fairly doing well, and Upgrad is, pioneering, I would say. I got lucky there learning, but, another U-turn happened, I would say, in my life, because one of my friend, very early days friend approached me, because I was working in a startup, at tech startup. So today he's my co-founder Karan. So he approached me. He was pursuing his LLM from UPenn, and he had a legal tech idea in his mind. And I was definitely at that point in time working with Upgrad, like I said, in 2016 around. I'm taking you back there, and he told me like you are working with a startup. You know all the hacks. I actually created a entrepreneurship course, which later on Upgrad gave it to the Startup India initiative. So yeah, that was the first course that I started working on for Ronnie, and that's how he said, like, little hacks of this game. So I have certain idea. Let's collaborate. Let's talk. So we started communicating. He was in US, I was in Mumbai. So Upgrad was based out of Mumbai. So we started interacting. We started meeting, some prospective customers, prospective, sort of investors, or doing a basic market research. And that's where after a couple of months, I would say almost a year, we took a plunge because he came back to India, and he started Legitquest. So I'm moving towards foundation of Legitquest also, which may be probably your next discussion point. So I'm just sort of merging it together because it's kind of a storyline that is happening.
Sure.
So coming back to it, yes, in 2017 we really took this kind of a plunge, and he came back to India. We both are based out of Delhi actually, and he set it up. And then by that time, I put in my resignation to Mayank, and I told Mayank also, like, I'm venturing into something crazy. Uh, till date, if you ask what is legal tech, I think today 10 out of 9 people still don't know what is legal tech. In 2025, I'm talking about, and we were thinking about building certain venture in a legal tech space in 2017. So it was a little courageous, but yeah, my co-founder had a very path-breaking sort of idea, and I believed in that, and he convinced me very honestly. And I also put in my paper with Upgrad and came back to Delhi, and officially we set it up, Legitquest. And uh, yes, since since 2017, I would say last 7, 8 odd years, I've been running this show along with obviously my team and my co-founders, and we've been struggling hard. It's a challenging space, I would say, but there has been a lot of sweet milestones, a lot of I would say the milestones that have encouraged us to build and create an impact in this space, because legal is that kind of a sector where probably again 95 out of 100 would not even think of getting into. It's a messed up space, because you're talking about a space which is a different, it's not being regulated well, I would
Absolutely.
say. It's very hard, I would say, because I can go on talking about those challenges maybe at a later part of
You're
the
the
story.
first
Yeah,
founder. Apologize for interrupting, but you're the first
no,
founder
no.
that is in this space actually. So you're absolutely correct. 95 out of 100 don't even know, and you're my
Yeah,
first founder that I've interviewed that is in this space. So yeah, absolutely. So tell
yeah.
me more about Legit Quest and what it is you specifically specialize in.
So again, taking you back to 2017. So the first core idea of building this Legit Quest was around a product where we can give a platform to the end user. So here the end user I'm talking about, the legal professionals, maybe the lawyers, advocate, attorneys, and even the law students. Those were the end users, and that was the thought process to make their life easy. How are we gonna make their life easy? We figured out that 30% of their time is spent on the legal research, right? And in India, I mean, for any advocate, attorney to present their case in the court, they have to do a lot of research about the very similar cases in the core, which has happened in the past, and drawing the best arguments to be taken up for their client. So for that they have to do a lot of legal research, and there were a couple of old school, I would say, platforms already available. Digitization was no big deal. It already happened in India as well. So it is all about that research, the database that we need to provide over that platform, and add certain value there. So that was the path breaking idea we worked out on. And it was somewhere a one click judgment insight system we created, just to cut it short, so that you are able to reduce a legal researcher's time by around one third. So that was the value proposition that our platform started working on. So that if you are a legal professional, your time of working on legal research get reduced drastically. So those were the features we started working on, and obviously, today I'm proud to say that we have the largest litigation database of our country, right? And nobody
Wow.
has that kind of a database, right? And when we talk of litigation database, we're talking about since 1857, all Supreme Court, High Court, tribunals, district
Until
courts,
now.
every yes,
Yeah.
updated till yesterday, I would say.
Wow. Wow.
And today it's gonna happen by the end of the day as well, right? So so
So
so
apologies.
yeah.
So a lot of the audience is actually not fully aware of the way legal cases operate and how individuals do the research. So what mechanisms does a legit quest specifically help with regard to the research aspect?
Yeah, so we were the ones, like I said, there were old school players already who has digitized, and they're just providing the database over the platform as a SaaS product. We were the SaaS company, but with the updated technology, we started implementing AI, ML at a very early stages, which has been just the buzzword in this industry till now. People use AI ML just for the sake of using it, just to create a marketing gimmick, very honestly, in India. And lot many people across industries does it, right? We were the first ones who actually started implementing. Today, I would say, I'm again proud to say that we have a complete generative AI legal assistant, chat and audio based. You can ask anything, and he will give you every sort of assistance like a researcher to you, right? So that is the
Wow.
stage we have reached. From that a simple value proposition. Today we have thousands of great features, I would say, loaded with features, but just I'm highlighting on one of the feature, which is a distinguishing element in today's market as well. And I'll tell you, it's not just about the technology also. It's about solving different problems of the same target audience, right? So today, it's been 7 years, right? So it's not that we are just into a legal research. So we got a great backing from Waterbridge Ventures and InfoEdge Ventures. So we raised a seed round in 2019. It was somewhere around 400 US thousand dollars in at that point in time. Then we saw COVID as well. We saw early adoption of legal technology into the space, right? Because COVID, people pushed to use technology to, even judges were doing, case
Right.
hearings online through Zoom and everything. So that was, I would say, again, a milestone where people started adopting legal technology products. And we also doubled down. And even our investors doubled down, and they gave us a pre-series A round as well in 2021, doubling it down by 800 US thousand dollar as well, right? So that's how our growth journey started. And then we thought, why not to solve out varied problems of the same TG? And then we started working on the next product, which was case management product. So just to give you a very layman's, sort of information about what this case management product does is, suppose you are a in-house counsel of a corporate, say Amazon, or a partner of a law firm. You would be managing a lot of cases. Any law firm would be managing a lot of cases for their
Yes.
companies, right? And even a company, Amazon, would have different cases all across India, for example, right? So under one platform, you are able to manage all your cases. You are able to, it's a collaborative platform where you are able to get all your team members, people working on a particular case. It's a case monitoring mechanism on a real time basis. Whatever the next hearing dates are coming from the court, e-courts, and everything gets updated here. So it's a real time tracking, monitoring, and case management software that we started working on, so that people gets the real value of having a research product as well as a case management product. And I'll take another 2 minutes to just talk about the third product that we recently launched. I said recently,
Sure.
why? Because it's 2023 we started working out on, and 2024 we actually launched last year itself. And then we realized, in 2023, we realized that we are sitting on a gold mine. Data is the real fuel. Everyone knows that. Everyone talks about that. And we figured out during this 7 years of journey, we have been curating our existing data. We have been setting the processes to get the data at a quicker and a faster rate, right? And setting in the right format, because there are different formats, different language, everything. There are so many languages in India. You know that, right? So getting them translated and getting them at a single language, which is English, is again a humongous task. So we did all that, and we realized that we are sitting on a the largest litigation database. We can fetch out hell of the insight from it. And when I say hell of an insight, we thought of another gap in the market, which was legal due diligence. So due diligence, everyone knows, right? Your financial due diligence, operational due diligence, a lot of due diligence are there. But what about legal due diligence? Nobody has a solution about legal due diligence. If I'm hiring Aryan or contracting with Aryan, does Aryan have sort of criminal and civil cases across India? I don't know.
Hmm.
How
I
would
do.
I
No,
get to
no,
know?
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Right. So I'll do a legal due diligence on Aryan, and we are the ones who possess the best database of our country. We have the best technology, and from that technology, sitting on that database, we are able to fetch any entities, whether it's a corporate, whether any partnership, any sole proprietorship, or any individual in the country, whole pan India, we can give you the litigation check report. What sort of cases you have on Supreme Court, District Court, Tribunal, High Court, anywhere across India. So
How
that's
quickly
that's
you get that
uh
information?
we have APIs. It can give instantly on a real-time basis also. But we work on two models. One, instant, quick API-based solution, and another is where a human intervention is there on the top of AI. Human intervention is there, and we double down, we double check, we do curation more, because so that we don't miss out. And those manual reports are the turnaround time is around 2 to 3 business days.
Hmm.
So
Well, this is
those yeah, so those reports are basically used for IPOs, when certain high stake is involved in certain transaction, financial transactions. So people rely on those, 2 to 3 business days, one kind of a report. Yeah, you had something to ask.
Yes. So I just want to say that this is something that's very niched, and I wanted to know because you were previously in education, the education sector. Was it your co-founder that compelled you to want to help you go into this space, specifically break into it?
Yeah. So basically, see, Aryan, any startup or any business for that matter works on different solid pillars, right? Every pillar has to be, supporting particular domain. So my another co-founder, the Karan that I mentioned about, he comes from a legal background. Like I said, he was doing his LLM from UPenn. So he takes care of the product, the kind of feature we need to add in, what is the actual problem mindset of the, the our end user. So he works out on the product and the sales side. I take care of the business side. I take care of the all the operational pipeline, right? Operational efficiency across the firm. My forte is finance, so I'm a doctorate in finance from a education perspective, MBA in finance, MCOM in banking. So I come from a finance operations background. So I take care of finance for sure. I take care of finance, HR as well, and customer success and sales support. So these are my sort of forte. And our third co-founder who takes care of the technology. So he's also a Delhi College of Engineering, which is a premier institution, DC pass out, 20 plus experience. So across all three co-founders, we have like 50 years of experience together. So that's the kind of different skill set we have in the founding team, and along with obviously the team. So that's how we work together with our different roles designated, areas designated, so that we use our forte and skill in a particular domain
Well,
specifically.
what I want to say is what's very excellent. What I've noticed is you've actually went to this sector, into this specific sector, and you found problems within the problem, such as the due diligence and the case management. So, what is your perspective? And this is going to be a little bit more general. But what is your perspective on really solving a bigger problem? Because I've noticed that you've gone into the industry, and then you've actually identified other problems. You found more gaps, and you're filling those gaps. So, how do you approach problem solving, and understanding the core problems?
Yeah. So see, I'll be very honest here, and there's no harm in accepting the pitfalls or the problems that you have seen and you have done in the in the past, right? So when we started with finding out the first problem, the legal research problem, reducing the, we realized that the market was not actually doing legal research a lot. Very few of the target group does the legal research and efficient legal research. Very premium lawyers, attorneys does that. Most of it doesn't do that. And so that problem was very small. And then when we interacted, we were into that space. When we interact with those kind of a TG, the customers of ours, then you realize that, okay, I am facing this as a bigger problem rather than this. So when we went into the market, so tried selling legal research, they said, I don't know. I mean, probably legal research I do maybe once a week, but I need a platform where I can manage all my cases. So these are the products which are the outcome of those problems shared by our existing clients only, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how it was a automatic transition, you would say, that you start building products, and then we realize, okay, this is a smaller problem we started with, but it really helped us in building that foundation, which is the database. If we wouldn't have worked on legal research, we wouldn't be able to deliver a legal due diligence product. So that was somewhere as a product, it was a small problem solving, but now with this legal due diligence, we are solving a humongous problem. And I'll tell you, we have got a patent over this technology. We have trademarked this legal due diligence product as LIBIL. So I'm not sure. Maybe if you have heard about CIBIL in India, it's a credit score. Every bank, so we have like sort of replicated a very similar name with a strategy that every bank in India, when they give a loan, they check your CIBIL score. So CIBIL score is basically
Sure.
your credit history, your credit history, whether you have paid all your loans
Mhm.
very well, you have paid on time, everything, right? So that's your credit history. So on the same parlance, we trademarked it as LIBIL because it's a legal score. Whether you have done any criminal cases, civil cases, under what
Wow, I love
sort of
that. Yeah,
so
yeah.
so 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 that was so that's where now we are on the path of revolutionizing the whole space, and the use case is very big. Because think, when bank is giving you a loan, so everyone takes a loan. There's a huge market, whether it's a home loan, personal loan, whatever. They check your CIBIL score. What if they start checking your LIBIL score also? So if Aryan has a good credit score, but he has a bad LIBIL score, your litigation history is not good. I think we are alerting, giving an alert to the bank also. Ki Aryan should not be given loan because he doesn't have a good litigation history. He has a lot of
And this isn't there right
cases.
now.
Yeah, it is
This
not there. We are creating the
wow.
need in the market. We
My
are
gosh.
creating a category. It's a difficult task, I would say. It's a
Yeah.
very long shot. But yeah, I mean, you have to think big to get to certain big outcome. So that's where we are thinking to go.
Well, listen, you're doing amazing things with amazing co-founders. But now I want to learn more about you, Himanshu. The first question I have for you is this: what is one aspect about your life or about you that you wish more people knew about?
See, I'll tell you, I'll sort of change from Legitquest to, sort of thing that I want to talk about on the founder's life, maybe, because you talked about fitness in the very beginning. I want to correlate both the things very honestly. See, the last 7 years has been very rigorous. Every day is a different day with every different new challenges coming in on the way. If you are not strong mentally, physically, you should not get into startup. So that's my
Agreed.
always a big take on this. You'll not believe, since last uh 18 years, I have been jogging every alternate days for 5 to 10 kilometers minimum.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
I have this, as a, on my calendar every day in the morning, that I have to spend at least an hour or so on the physical activity. I do swimming. Last year I went to trek. I at times join gym, because there's always a boredom. It happens, because people are fanatic about gymming, or but at times there's a boredom that comes in. You keep on changing your, activity, maybe. That is what I can suggest. But as a founder, if you're not living a healthy life, you're not being fit physically, it will come to your mental fitness,
Mental,
and
right?
then it will come to
Execution.
your startup execution. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then it
Yeah.
will come to your startup also. You cannot function as a person, and you cannot function your startup anymore then, because you are not able to function
Right.
yourself, right? So very, very, very honestly, it's one of the most important thing, the physical and the mental fitness, which is well needed. And that's why I follow a very rigorous, I say rigorous. Why? Because it's okay. I mean, 1 hour a day, and this habit sticking to me for like 18 years, in last 18 years, I feel it's a great thing, and people should do that at least. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So now I'll shift the conversation a little bit more towards fitness, and since we were just talking about it, and I want to get your perspective, Himanshu. What do you believe is a primary challenge for individuals to make their fitness transformation?
Uh, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of, I would say, hurdles that comes a long way. But it's all again, it's the mindset at the end of the day. If you're determined that, you have to achieve that goal. So right now, my goal has been just reducing 4 kgs, right? Just taking my example. So I am determined, like at least I have to do this much in a day to achieve this target. It's all, you have to set your mind towards that goal in specific. Then only you can get through. There are a lot of hurdles, especially people coming from the entrepreneurial background, or even not entrepreneurial, even if they are from a banking background, or MNCs. Usually the lifestyle in India has been very bad. They're like working for 14 to 16 hours a day, and honestly, after that, if they have a family to take care of, their children's, and maybe your siblings or whatnot. I mean, India is like that, right? You have to take care of so many things as a responsibility. Then hardly fitness is there on the chart for them. But
The
yes,
time. Yeah.
having said that, those are the hurdles that one needs to manage. It's all about time management. It's all about your mindset. It's all about the determination that I have to set a very, step by step goal, I would say. I mean, if you're targeting, like, maybe 15 kgs, okay, let's not talk about 15 kgs. Let's talk about maybe 2 kgs for a month as of now. Let's do that, these basic exercise for a month. So that's how I would
Sure.
suggest to approach, rather than the end goal. Maybe splitting the end goal would make more sense.
And I'll briefly share my perspective on fitness. So I find that with most individuals and also with myself previously, I'm not sure if you saw earlier, but I was 240 pounds. And unfortunately, I could barely, at some point, I could barely stand. And I was trying a bunch of different approaches, running every day. I was trying low carb, low fat, everything. Everything you can name, I tried. And for some reason, I saw some progress, but I couldn't sustain it. And then sometimes I was doing everything, but I wasn't seeing the results I was looking for. And I find that the primary challenge in fitness is most people don't understand the mechanism of weight loss. So the assumption is that you have to spend hours upon hours every day doing lots of cardio. You need to do a lot of dieting. And while that can be true, it can kind of help. It's not focusing on the core requirement to really drive change in your health and fitness. And I don't need to get too scientific, but it's more about the calorie expenditure model and about your calories taken in model. And if people
Hmm.
understood that, they would understand are different avenues they can take to actually transform their fitness and health. And this means, and this is something I'll say publicly, is that I never went to the gym. Neither did I ever cut out chocolate to lose over 70 pounds. And most people do not believe me. And when I say this, but the issue is they don't believe me because they don't understand the mechanism of weight loss. So the two pieces of advice that I would give to most people is this. First, prioritize location independent exercise. If you can take a phone call and you can handle a business call and fulfill the mechanism of weight loss at the exact same time, most of the barriers you have to making a health transformation are gone. And how can you do that? Step count. Step count is one example. For walking while you're taking a phone
Hmm.
call, there's a certain amount of activity you need to be doing, certain amount of energy expenditure like step count, and that alone is not typically enough. It is an avenue, but the second component is what I was going to mention is your strategy. So step count is extremely effective, but it can only be effective with the right strategy with regard to nutrition. So before I continue, I would like to say this: as a business individual, as someone who's an investor, you would never invest any of your own money into a business strategy you didn't understand. So why would you spend your time, which is which is money? Your time is money. Why would you spend any of it in a strategy that you're not sure would deliver you the results you're looking for? So the second component is understand the strategy you're utilizing. Will it actually deliver the results you're looking for, or is it just wasting your time? So once again, location independent exercise, because I believe if you can take a business call and you can fulfill the mechanism of weight loss at the exact same time, all the barriers to making transformation are much lower. And then number two is understand your strategy, because you do not want to waste your time, which is your money. So
Yeah.
that's basically my specific perspective on fitness. And I think with that, we'll end off the fitness conversation. But I would like to conclude the podcast with your next year plans with regard to Legitquest.
Yeah, I think just commenting on what you just said on the fitness, I think you are bang on and spot on, I would say, because you have to
Thank you.
understand what you're doing, and the calorie intake versus outtake. You have to understand that phenomena. Anyways, yeah. So as far as the plans are concerned, very honestly, we are double downing on the bigger market, which is the level that I talked about, the legal due diligence, because it's the problem not just into the legal sector, it's the problem into the BFSI, the banking, financial industry, insurance, real estate. So we are expanding the legal niche into multiple sector, and that's how we're gonna go big as well. Because otherwise, if you just stay in one sector, which is, I'll tell you, the problem of this sector, legal tech, is because in India it's only 1.2 million lawyers we are talking about, the legal practitioners we are talking about. So very small market. But now we are talking about the varied use case across the multiple industries, banking, real estate, NBFCs, fintechs, everyone gonna use this
Mhm.
kind of a niche product. So this niche product fitting into multiple industries, maybe is a big shot that we are banking on.
It's a
And let's
massive
see how,
problem you're solving. Massive problem.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
with a
exactly,
massive
exactly.
market, with a massive market as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, so I
absolutely.
love that. Where do people learn more about you and more about LegitQuest?
Sorry, come again, I missed out.
Where can people learn more about you and more about LegitQuest?
Oh yeah, so obviously, we have a web portal, which is legitquest.com. you know uh, We all founders and primary team is all over the LinkedIn. Anyone can reach me on LinkedIn very easily, right? And we are all on social media pages. We are all there on YouTube as well. We keep on releasing. So yeah, so fairly we've been marketing ourselves well. We've been doing a lot of events all across Delhi NCR. We've been going to a lot of events even across the globe. I would say we've been to US for an event. We've been to Southeast Asia, Singapore, Bangkok for an event. So yeah, we are trying to expand and promote ourselves big time. And easy to reach out is definitely the LinkedIn. If anyone wants to reach out and have a conversation around any requirement, I'm there on LinkedIn as well. So,
Well,
yeah.
if you want to keep up with Himanshu and his groundbreaking endeavors, make sure to check out his LinkedIn down below. It'll be in the comment section along with the website. It was my absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast today, Himanshu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great for me as well. Good to have the conversation with you, Aryan.
Thank you. This was Aryan Mohindra and Dr. Himanshu Puri. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.